Hi, today I'm gonna unbox a motherboard I bought on AliExpress. It's a typical NAS motherboard. This time, well, it's without a CPU because I also bought some boards where the CPU is put on. This is a board based on the C246 chipset, suited for Intel 8th and 9th generation CPUs. Which is typically an i3 9100, an 8500 i5, or a 9700 i7. It's also possible to put a Xeon on it. I don't know the type. I will put that in the notes. I'm also going to build it. So I have some extras here that were not with the motherboard. Yeah. So the motherboard itself, it's packaged in an anti-static bag, ESD bag. There is, of course, the breakout plate, a SATA cable with it, with a hook on it. So yeah, it's a 8-9 generation socket. So it's socket 1151. You can mount a cooler on it, of course, obviously. It has two DDR4 slots. It supports maximum 64 gigs of RAM, which is limited, of course, by the CPU. It only takes ordinary, regular DDR4, so it does not take ECC RAM or server grade RAM or whatever you want to call it. It has two M2 slots, so here is one. I will be filling it later on. And on the back there's another one here, as you can see. It has four 2.5 gigabit ports here. That's for networking. It's based on the i226V chip from Intel. Furthermore, it has four USB 3 ports. These are regular USB 3.0 that is, so that's 5 megabit, I think. There is also another USB on board, which is typically used for putting an operating system in or something like that, or a key that you need to have in the laptop, in the PC. There's a PCIe times 16 slot. That's a PCIe 3 slot. Yeah, that's here. There is a Realtek chipset on board, which means there is an audio out. There is also an HDMI and a DisplayPort output. For the rest, it has, of course, the regular on-off array. It has 8 SATA ports, which is why it's called a NAS board, because typically you have more SATA ports than just 2, 4, or 6 even. You have the power connector here, you have the 12-volt delivery here, you have a fan header for the CPU, and you have a fan header for the case here. What's there for the rest? The chipset is, of course, cooled. There is no battery delivered, so that is going to be the first thing that we do. There is also a USB 3.1 or 3.0 header here, the blue one, which you can extend to the front of the cage. Obviously, the board is a mini ITX board. They call it thin mini ITX, I don't know. It depends on the cooler you put on, I guess, if it's thin or not thin. So what will I be putting in here? First of all, that is an Intel Core i3 9100T. I specifically bought a T version, which means it's more energy efficient. In a NAS, you typically do not need the raw power unless you want to have some VMs running on it. I also am going to put in 2 SSDs. These are silicon power, what's the type? A60. Yeah, that's the thing. P34A60. That are these. It's generation 3x4. It's just as a caching means they're a bit faster than SATA, than the SATA ports and the hard drives you're going to use. I'm also going to overkill this totally with 32 gigabits of Corsair RAM, which I bought recently for a very inexpensive price. Yeah, I'm gonna open them too. Let's see. So yeah, it's the regular Vengeance LPX from Corsair. It's stable RAM. It's just regular RAM. 3200 megahertz or mega transfers. It does. That's gonna be too fast for this motherboard anyway. But yeah, that is what it is. Then we have the NVMe drives. I'm gonna unpack here. Voila. So yeah, these go also in. The battery, it's the first thing I'm gonna put in here. Yeah, there's a plus and a minus side. Now I need to see. The plus goes in this side. Yeah, which you also can see on the connectors. So you actually just push it in and it should sit like this. I hope it's in okay. It's a bit strange. Then Linus taught us how to do this. Okay, this is strange. Normally this this thing sits on top of the fixing. Yeah. Look if there are any bent pins, but everything seems okay. So we put in the CPU. To be honest, I never search for the triangle. I always go for, there are dents in here, and they go exactly on the motherboard. So you see, otherwise it doesn't fit in. You put it in like this. Voila. You fasten it. That's it. Okay. Let me clean this up. Then I'm gonna take a screwdriver. We're gonna put in the SSDs. One is here. Oops. Everything I use here, except the motherboard, of course, I will put in the notes below. We have some affiliate links. If you think you like something you see and want to buy it, we would appreciate it if you use our links for that. That gives us a little percentage of the sale, as everyone knows. Voila. That's it. We turn it over to put the second SSD in. Okay, hope this one goes better. No, it's a short one. With these drives, you typically do not need to have a cooler on them. They don't run that hot. A cooler can be an issue on the back of the motherboard. Of course, it depends on the case you're using, of course, where you use it. That's it. Voila. Now the RAM. Yeah, you always have to look. Yeah, you don't have to see, there are only 2 slots. So the RAM goes in. Only one way, of course. That's it. Now I'm gonna put these things away. They're out of the way. So that's it. For the cooler, I have a special thing. It's a Thermalright. I recently discovered them. They have a really decent cooler for a terrific price, actually. I will also link it below. It's the AXP90 X36. The X36 stands actually for that it only is 36 millimeters high, which means it's a really low profile. I've used it already a couple of times, and it's a really good cooler for the money that it costs. It's a fantastic thing. There is something in Chinese, I don't know what. There's an installation guide. You do have to read that because standard it comes with the mounting brackets of a 1700 socket 1700, sorry. So the cooler itself comes mounted. I already changed it to a regular Intel. It's actually fairly easy to do. You see 2 screws here, 2 screws here. The other mounting brackets are packed in the box that is with it. There is normally also some cooler paste in it. I will show the 1700 brackets. So these are standard on them. It says 1700. It's really clear to see. So normally you mount those like this. The 1500 brackets are also. Yeah, you can also see that clearly. There are also brackets for. Now I have to look. I think it's AM4 and AM5. Yeah. It is doable. Let me see on the box what it says. So you can use it. So it's AM4. It's Intel. It's 11.5X. So 1150, 1151. It's socket 1200. That's for the 10th and 11th generation. And the 1700. That's for the 12th, 13th, and 14th generation of CPUs. I think the cooling capacity of this one is not high enough for AM5. I think that's it. So the fan, I have to say that, is also a really high quality fan. Of course, it's not a Noctua, but it's really good quality. I took it off from one of the builds I did where I needed actually some more cooling, not only for the processor. So I took a thick Noctua one because that was the only thing that went in there that actually pulled the air in and cooled then also the VRMs and stuff like that. So how to mount this? Well, there's a bag with it. And there are short screws and longer screws. What I've learned is that to mount it, you actually need to put the plate, the back plate. Yeah, you see it's named AM4 and LGA 1200, 1700. You need to put that on the bottom. Yeah, like this. So it sits actually on the, I don't know if you can see that well. You can't put it actually wrong because it's the other way around is also the same thing. It sits on the back of the socket. Yeah, so you see, you need to see the name. Then you can do it like this. Yeah, you put, I have to get some cooler paste. Cut. To mount the cooler that we're going to do. I'm going to say something that I don't think I've ever seen on video somewhere on YouTube. I use this, it's a two-method thing from Arctic Cooling. It's Arctic Clean, normally to clean up when you take a cooler off and when you want to clean the CPU. And there's also Thermal Surface Purifier. I always use this. Like you see in the cooler here, well, it was already unpacked. I actually used it on another build, which I had to take the cooler off because it was too low. I didn't have clearance enough. And the CPU is also a second-hand CPU I bought on AliExpress. So I put some fluid on there, take some cleaning paper, and just clean everything up. I think some isopropyl alcohol is also good enough to do this. You see, there comes some dirt off. Anyway, I've noticed that it's just clean. I don't know if it makes any sense of doing it, if it is better doing it or not. Anyway, I do it. Let me put this back on. So I had some thermal paste. I took some Noctua, which I had lying around. I'm gonna put some on there. Like a big pea. Rubbing it out, it doesn't make any sense doing that. I found that out that it's really not needed. To mount the cooler. Now I'm thinking how to do that. Yes, you. Now to mount the cooler, you actually screw in. It's very much against everything I've learned before. You screw in. I tried this out already. You need the shorter ones with this. If you take the AM5, if you remember, the back plate is a little bit further off the print of the motherboard, so you need to have the longer ones there. So for AM4 you need the long ones, for Intel you only need the shorter ones. Yeah, so you put this on. I always put the cable where it needs to be. Like this. Let me see if there's enough clearance. Nope, there's not. It needs to be like this. The clearance is, actually, you need to have enough here because the VRMs are actually pretty close. I tried this out. No. Yeah, I can't use this cooler, it's too close. Doesn't matter. These things happen. I thought I tried it out, but that was with the bracket on. Which gives me a chance to get another Thermalright cooler, which I also bought. It's also, well, not very expensive, I have to say. Yeah. Let me get it. So that cooler didn't fit. I have another one, also from Thermalright. It's the Assassin King 120 SE. Yeah, I'm gonna unpack it here. Voilà. You have, of course, the installation manual, the Chinese one I see, which is a bit strange. packet, you have a fan, a 12 millimeter. It's a 120 millimeter fan, which is decent quality. There's mounting brackets, and there's in the end the cooler itself. Yes, it's you see this is a new one. It's never been used before. Let me put this fan away. And let's see what we have here. Again, this cooler fan is for LGA 1851, so it's the ultra processors from Intel, the 1711 5X, 115X, so that's what this is, and the 1200. It's also for AM4 and AM5. So it has heat pipes, it's 100% RAM compatible, it's easy install, airflow optimized fan, and it has high-end thermal paste. But like I said, I'm not going to use that. It's TF4, I don't know what it stands for. So yeah, let's see how it looks. Oh yeah, that's really handy. So you have these springs to mount the fan later on. This is a mounting bracket. We'll find out what this is later. And then you have here, this is handy, it's for Intel. I assume you reuse the bottom plate for AM4 and AM5. So the bottom plate, so this thing is plastic. It's for 115X and 1700. And depending on the platform, you can switch it between 1150X and 1700, which is a little bit wider. You can, yeah, there is glue on the bottom. I'm not going to use that because I hate that. But you just put this on the bottom. Let's see if there's a specific way to mount it. Yeah, it fits either way. It fits either way. It has these stand-ups. And then the screws are not in a box or anything. They're like this, but they're labeled. AM4, AM5 is the red ones. The 1700 is the blue ones. And I apparently don't have screws with that. That's strange. It might be the same screws then as the 1700. Let me actually have a look in the manual. 1700, no. E. Yeah, it's the same screws as the 1700. So we're going to open this. So I'm going to turn it a little bit so you can see it better. So you just put these over here. You get the screws from the 1700 then. Yeah, like this. I will put all the links in the description, of course. Then you put these on. I guess there's only one way to put these on right. Let me see. Yeah, the color is like that. Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, they actually did it smart because the 1700s are a little bigger and you have to turn them around then. Voila, just screw them in. this. You can speed this up, by the way. That's it. The screwdriver is, by the way, it's an Amazon basic one. I just like it. To get the Linus screwdriver here in Europe, it's I think it's twice the price they pay in the US. And I don't really need it. This is something that a lot of people already have forgotten. It's to peel off. The difference between the SE and the regular version is the SE has the heat pipes exposed here. The regular version, it's a little thicker and the base plate is chromed out. So you just mount it this way. Voila. You just screw it in. So you can't over tight them because there's a spring in there. And then to mount the cooler, typically you have to blow it out, so to the back. There's always an arrow on the fans normally, the way to blow it. Not on this one, apparently. So probably you will have to give me some comments. Where do I see it? On the Noctua fans, it's always there. I'm a big Noctua fan. So yeah, I'm gonna mount it anyway, like this, because the fan header is here. This way. Yeah. Normally you would do these first, of course. Voilà, mount this. And this one too. Like this, and then the fan is mounted, and you can mount it in a case of your liking. I will be probably building this out in a fractal design case, probably a 602, I think that's what it's called. I will do that in a separate video to build out, also build in the hard drives, and to show you how the case actually looks and how it works all together. So this is it. The motherboard is fully built. You can use the slot, for whatever. You can use it for a RAID controller or an HBA. You can use it for a 10 gigabit network card, which I did in some other servers of mine, where I use a mini ITX board to connect them to 10 gigabit. Yeah, that's it, more or less. I'll put the prices and the information below in the description. And I hope you have as much fun as I did with building this. And see you all soon. Bye.